This video will discuss the minimum PC requirements needed to install the EASE Reprogramming Assistant Software. To ensure maximum performance and proper operation of the EASE Reprogramming Assistant and OEM programming software, a PC is needed that meets certain minimum requirements. This video will discuss the EASE Reprogramming Assistant minimum requirements, and the OEM programming requirements are covered in a separate video. Although this video will discuss the EASE Reprogramming Assistant minimum requirements, the OEM programming requirements were also taken into consideration in establishing these minimums. By following the guidelines, you can select a PC that will ensure you can program a wide variety of OEMs. However, be sure to watch the video on the OEM requirements for more specifics. First of all, operating system requirements. Windows XP Service Pack 3 is supported, as well as Vista or 7 in both 32 and 64-bit. One thing to keep in mind, although XP is supported, GM and several other OEMs have started to discontinue support for Windows XP. Although they say they discontinue support for XP, we still can successfully program in those for right now, so you just have to keep watching for changes in that. But again, as of the time of the recording, GM does say that they're moving away from XP, but again, it works fine. Okay, operating systems not supported: Windows 98, ME, NT, and 2000, and basically anything that's non-Windows, such as Apple and Mac products or Linux systems. Processor requirements. You're going to need at least an Intel dual-core processor, but again, you're going to want to look for something better, such as the Intel Core 2 Duo 2.5 GHz or above. RAM and some miscellaneous items. You're going to need at least 2 gig of RAM. Again, this is more in line for the OEM programming requirements, not necessarily just for the EASE Programming Assistant. But 2 gig and up is certainly better. You're going to need 20 gig of hard drive space for installation of this software and the OEM programming software. You'll need a CD-ROM drive to install this software, and you're going to need one free USB or Ethernet communication port on your PC, as well as a graphics card that supports at least 1024 by 768. In addition to being able to use either USB or an Ethernet cable to use the reprogramming system, there is also an optional 802.11 wireless capability available. And if you decide to do wireless, there are other videos on how to either set the system up with your existing wireless network or how to set up a new network. Okay, so essentially with the EASE reprogramming system, there are 3 main ways to connect the unit to your PC: either USB, the Ethernet cable, or 802.11 wireless. And this is a little summary of some of the features comparing all of the 3. Another thing you're going to need is an email account. A valid email address is required to receive your software access code for this software. And also, many, if not all, the OEMs require an email address, whether to get into your account or as a login, and so on. So you're definitely going to need email. Okay, internets and browsers. You're definitely going to need a connection to the internet, since all of the OEM data is web-based. Many of the websites will tell you need a minimum of a speed of 56K. However, that's pretty slow these days. So a high-speed internet connection is preferred. Anything could be DSL cable, a T1 line, or whatever you have available in your area. You will also need a web browser and Adobe Acrobat Reader to view PDFs and so on. And the Reprogramming Assistant does have many links to our website, and also to view some other helpful links. And some of the pages on there do require Adobe Acrobat Reader, just like the OEMs are going to require that to view the files. So your PC probably already has that on there, but if not, that is definitely a minimum requirement. And although the Reprogramming Assistant does support many web browsers to get to our files and so on, many OEMs require that you use Internet Explorer 7.0 or higher. So we're going to say that that's a minimum requirement to, again, use Internet Explorer 7.0 or higher. After you install this software on your PC, again, software access codes are going to need to be get from our website, and you can get those codes 24/7 at obd2code.com. And again, there's a separate video that will walk you through the software installation. Okay, once now that you've seen all the PC requirements, you can determine what type of system you want to run the software on. Again, you can pick a desktop, a laptop, or some sort of tablet. Okay, what should you do next? Well, you should ensure your PC also meets the requirements of each OEM you plan on programming. Although this video discussed the programming assistant, again, we took into consideration a lot of the requirements of the other OEMs, specifically mainly focusing on the domestics. So if you meet the requirements discussed in this video, you should be in good shape to program domestic vehicles and a wide variety of other OEMs. But again, if you have something specific in mind, please be sure to watch, again, the other video about the OEM requirements and check out the specific OEM website.